Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Pro Am Outdoors. Today we have a DIY project for you. It's my kayak crate, but it's not about the kayak crate itself. It's about the rod holders on the kayak crate and what makes it different than anything else you've ever seen. I'm just about to show you what it does. There he is. Woo! So what makes this different than anybody else's kayak crate rod holders? That you can actually lay these down if you go under brush. Another thing about these rod holders, they're individually. I can take one off or all of them off anytime I want. And so you could actually have all three on there, or if you want to lay it down even further, you could have just two on there. They're modular. And one of the reasons I'm using 2-inch pipe instead of 1.5 is because you can actually put your floats on the end of your rod here and they go right inside. Nice and easy. And we're going to show you how to make these today. So to do this, all you need is two milk crates right here. Just get two of them. I've got one that says Yak Attack on it and the other one that doesn't. Heat gun, something to cut the pipe with. Just get 2-inch PVC pipe. The other thing you need to get, a little spray paint, and then just some stainless steel nuts and bolts. The first thing you would do with this is with the deal, what you want to do is cut one of these crates down and it'll look just like this once you get it cut. Just all you got to do is cut it along, do it this. I've sanded the top, so what's going to happen is we'll bungee down, but now you got a lid here where you can open it up and get to everything. And now we're about to put together how to make an awesome rod holder. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm just taking the 2-inch PVC pipe, I'm cutting it down, and it's just as simple as, if you get a good one, you just put it up here, just, cut it with a good blade. Now what I'm going to have is 6 of these. I just need to do one more. Okay, the next step you're going to do is you have your 6 tubes cut with a PVC pipe. You're going to need a heat gun and, number one thing, a beer bottle. Now this may take a while, but once you get it soft, you'll see what it'll do. And you stick it in there and you start flaring it out. Okay, so what we got here is I've did 3 so far, but the very first one, you'll notice that the flare has come back from being wide and has moved back. And I think what it is it's still warm and they're shrinking back up. So what I've done is I've got a bucket of water that I'm now taking it and kind of shocking it, putting it into the water to actually stop it from shrinking back up. So I got to redo this one to get this one to flare out like these. We got 6 of these flared out, so we got to turn this like that to looking like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just, because we flared it out, we're going to cut it even across here. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take it over there to the router and I'm going to write it down. Then I'm going to cut the other edges off. Then we'll sand it and grind it from there. Okay, so what I've done is I built the jig where I can have it flat here. And all I got to do is put it in my vise. Taking this block to level it out. Level up the whole thing. Make sure it's lined out just right where it's straight up. It is. Now you're going to trip out on this because this works pretty good. Sure everything's right. Tighten this up. The way the jig works, all I got to do is put this up against the edge here and it's going to cut it out nice and smooth. Watch this. like how smooth that is. So now we just got to finish cutting off the corners and rounding everything else up. This is what I got now. It took me about 2 to 3 tries to get it this good. Right there. Now you can see it's starting to take shape. Okay, now I've got them all cut, done. As you can see, that rider does a pretty darn smooth job. I still got some sanding to do on them. Okay, the next thing I'm doing is I'm using a actual hole saw bit. And what I'm doing is actually cutting this through here. And make a really nice joint. And then I've got 4.5 inches up that I'm actually going to make a mark here, and then I'm going to drill a hole like this one so that my bolt head can actually go through real easy, so it'll come through the backside to lock everything together. Okay, so my next step is actually to take this part right here and attach it right here. Right now, all I'm going to do is rough up this surface a little bit to try and get so I can get a good bond on it. But trying to get a good bond here so I can do that right there. Have that hole just right. So I'm going to draw a pencil line around where it needs to go. So the next step is start taking these pieces out I put together like this and start sanding on them, getting them ready for paint. So this is all we're going to do, is start sanding on them. Get it with a 100 grit here a little bit. Get a lot of this off. Get inside there, just getting all the rough stuff. Now I take the wool stuff and I go over to where that 100 grit is, so it won't be so, you know, scratchy hardcore, but this is so that the paint will adhere to it really, really well. One step I forgot to mention, you need to use some mineral spirits or denatured alcohol to clean it before you go to paint. Okay, I got them all painted. It looks pretty good. This is 3 coats. And let these completely cure and dry overnight before I attach them to the kayak crate. All right, now the next step, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be installing where they're going to go on the side of the kayak crate. So I found this little grommet thing here. So if I put the rod holder, this is actually going to hold it from moving around. Then I can put one big bolt through there. But on the inside, it's a nice tight fit with a big old stainless steel flange washers. And I put the one bolt right between them, and then I'm able to put everything together. Well, I didn't show you this part, but I went ahead and I drilled holes in each one of these, the center hole and the smaller hole. This is a little part that I just cut off of 1.5 inches. It's going to go in there and it's going to create like a bushing or washer in a way to sit, so this will sit flat hard when it goes in to look like that. So we'll just need to put 3 of them on each side. So now I'm taking some washers off, trimming them down a little bit so the nuts can go through there. I'm just grinding that a little bit so that the bolt can go through here. Kind of in between, like that. Now, almost. Once that goes on, it's going to be a washer that's going to fit between these two like this, and I'll grind these down to fit just right, hopefully. That'll work. It's now the third day, but I could have done this all in one day. I just wanted the paint to actually here really good overnight, and you can't hardly scratch this paint off the type that I use. It's going to be super, super strong and really, really good. All right, now it's time. What I've done is I went ahead and cut these washers down like this. So they're going to go on the inside of this part here, holding up the rod holders. Now they're looking good, right? All right, so this is how this is going to go. It's going to go just inside each one, just like that. So now what I'm going to do is attach this. Let's do the first one. So now we need this bolt. We're going to put through here. Now what I've done is I've already put the bolt that I'm using through the hole, pulling it through here. And let's go ahead and get the back one on first. Let's see if that works. In. And I'm going to use the screwdriver for now to get it started. Just to get it on. Get it up. There we go. Got it going there. Put the washer on here. Put the stainless steel. Everything I'm using is stainless steel, by the way. And I've got one on now. I'm just going to tighten it up by hand first. There we go. There's one. Now we're just going to go ahead and repeat the process of putting the rest of them on. All right, now that I've got the 3 on this side, I'm gonna do the 3 on this side. But this is why this looks so cool, is because you could have it straight up, or I can actually turn them back if I want to, so they're much further out of the way. Thank you for watching the Pro-Am Outdoors, this amazing DIY project. Remember, be a subscriber, help out the channel, hit the notification bell, and get notified when the next project comes out. And go and watch the Ultimate DIY Kayak. It's the most DIY kayak ever. That's what it is on YouTube, where I have 18 different DIY projects on my kayak. Make sure you watch that one and see what's coming out next. Thank you for watching Pro-Am Outdoors.